Joining us now with stories trending around the world is OjyOkpe, our favorite day of the week.
Is it Friday?
It is Friday, isn't it?
No, Dr. But
it's tomorrow. Oh, okay.
I got so excited.
Okay. I was thinking of the implications coming from you and fight tomorrow.
Okay. So you were just preparing.
I'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, just wait till tomorrow.
I think Friday has become your favorite.
I got so excited. I was like, wow. The week ran fast.
I hope you guys are preparing for us.
Yes. We're always up to the task. You know that. There's a big party actually on December.
Brought kilishi.
Yes.
So tomorrow.
Yes, there's a big party for everyone at Arise by MyPad, the people who honored me with the award. So they're inviting you on the 19th, December 19th.
Oh, the 19th.
So there's a huge celebration party as well.
Okay.
Really.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's another indication.
It's already dirty December.
Correct.
We can keep having fun.
Dr. Matia, no one bet. 5 and 6. Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning? Jollof rice. I haven't heard that in a while. Good morning. Rufy on fire. How are you this morning? Yes.
Great to have you.
All right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. As reactions continue to trail Professor Wole Soyinka's criticism of what he described as an excessively large security battalion assigned to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's son, Seyi Tinubu, the president on Wednesday reiterated his directive to withdraw police officers from VIP protection duties, warning ministers and senior government officials that any requests for special security must receive his personal clearance. The president made the declaration at the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, expressing frustration with the slow pace of compliance since the order was first issued nearly 3 weeks ago.
Of the withdrawal of police officers from VIP or VVIP. I honestly believe in what I said. And I called on the IG, and I hope the Minister for Police Affairs is here. So if you have any problem of security because of the nature of your assignment, please contact the IGP and get my clearance. The Minister for Interior should liaise with IGP and the civil defense structure to replace those police officers who are on special security duties, so that you don't leave people exposed.
All right, I thought that was quite powerful. Well, this is all coming as Senator representing Bauchi Central, Abdul Ningi, protested the withdrawal of his police orderly during plenary on Wednesday, arguing that the VIP police escorts withdrawal had not been applied across the all board. Ningi noted that other political office holders, ministers, business people, and even their family members and singers continue to enjoy police protection while his lone police orderly was withdrawn. Let's take a look.
I woke up today and I was told my police orderly and other police orderlies are withdrawn. Mr. President, I have no problem with that. My problem is that this thing should go across the board. It should not be, don't worry, it should be done across the board. Let's see what happens from the office of the president to the vice president, to the Senate president, to the Speaker of the House, to the ministers. Mr. President, I'm coming after they have withdrawn my only orderly. I saw 2 convoys of ministers, and they were carrying lots of security personnel. I have also seen business concern, Chinese and other business concern. Yesterday, with the compliments of orderlies. Mr. President, I have also seen daughters and sons of political office holders having orderlies and having security covers. Mr. President, I have seen singers having orderlies and complementary of protection.
All right, Dr. Abati. He's complaining that he has seen even singers have police protection. You wanted to make a comment on Abdul Ningi.
The principle of it is that we should be looking at collective security, not individual security. It is when all of us are safe, collectively, that there is security, not when a few of us who, because of the privileges that they are exposed to as public officials, are the ones that are safe with their families. The overall objective should be that there should be collective security. Now, Senator Ningi's point is that what is good for the goose is good also for the gander. And he's saying if you can withdraw the police orderly that I've been enjoying since 1999 as a senator, there's no reason why you shouldn't withdraw from those categories of persons that he listed. Well, a senator will be basically of the same rank as a minister. And he said from the evidence of his own eyes, he saw two ministers going with a long battalion of security
one of those ministers
personnel, even celebrity singers. Maybe some of those your friends.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, but the thing here is that he listed the president, he listed the vice president, he even, I think, included governors, members of their families. Well, I think that of the president, no. The president is commander-in-chief.
Yes, he's entitled.
And he's president.
All right.
He has the vice president, the governors. These are national assets. So you cannot say, you won't provide security for them. While they are in that office, they are national assets who should be protected. What I don't know is about their wives and their children. If they feel that their children should have security, the president should also show example by making sure that it is the civil defense that he assigns to his wife or members, immediate members of his family. But even then, he can lead by example and make sure that they are not unnecessarily protected. During the time of President Obasanjo, did you see any of his children going about with state security?
Yeah, we were only discussing the story yesterday where Professor Wole Soyinka talked about Seyi Tinubu,
Obasanjo's children, they move normally around because they are not VIPs. And President Obasanjo did not allow it. When President Jonathan was there, did you see his children disturbing everybody all over the place?
Absolutely.
If they must have security, they can use DSS, they can use civil defense, and it should be done in a very discreet manner. I think is the issue. But the main emphasis is collective security, not individual security.
Yes, and I thought it was great that the president also mentioned, reiterated his point about the removal right off of the back of our conversation yesterday about Seyi Tinubu's battalion convoy. Well, it just struck the right chord. It was really, really powerful to see that video. Also, the president during that Federal Executive Council meeting had also tasked Vice President Kashim Shettima to lead the National Economic Council in identifying and rehabilitating grazing reserves into ranches, aimed at reducing farmer-herders conflicts and transforming the livestock sector into economically viable development. Well, while this dual approach of addressing root causes of insecurity through the Livestock Reform Initiative and strengthening the police is commendable, questions about the implementation process and whether exceptions will be made for certain officials continue to be debated. And I'll take Ahmad's tweet. He wrote on X, President Tinubu's actions demonstrate pragmatic and visionary leadership by withdrawing police escorts from VIPs. He is redeploying security personnel to frontline duties where they are most needed, addressing manpower shortages and strengthening community policing. At the same time, his directive for an emergency NEC meeting on the National Ranching Plan highlights a commitment to sustainable livestock farming, peace building, and national harmony. Transitioning from open grazing to modern ranching will reduce farmer-herder conflicts, boost productivity, and modernize the agricultural sector. These steps show a government that is proactive, strategic, and focused on safety, prosperity, and long-term well-being of Nigerians. Meanwhile, the president of the Meeti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Baba Othman Ngezelma, has stated that many grazing reserves in the country no longer serve the purpose for which they were originally established. Speaking in an exclusive interview with Ireti Bakare Yusuf on Borderlines, the MACBAN president also addressed the security crisis, stating that pastoralists wielding AK-47 rifles are terrorists and not farmers, while agreeing that there is genocide in Nigeria. Let's take a look.
More Muslims than Christians. Insurgents have killed more Muslims than Christians in Nigeria. So that is why this issue of genocide, yes, there was genocide. But genocide against who? These are lists of names of people that were killed. You know, there was a time when the media started saying that this is a private business. Cattle breeding is a private business. They should cater for their cows. I laugh. Even airline business is a private business. But government do construct airports for flights to land and take off at the expense of the government. Whenever you see a group of pastoralists moving with dangerous weapons and arms.
What do you mean by dangerous weapons? Because they will move with cutlass, no?
Carrying AK-47
guns, right, guns.
Whenever you see a group of youths with cows carrying AK-47 guns, these guys are criminals, these guys are cattle rustlers.
Well, Rufai, I know you have different views, but you know, this admission from MACBAN's leadership signals a significant shift in thinking within pastoral communities about the future of cattle rearing in Nigeria by acknowledging that grazing reserves have failed their purpose and distinguishing legitimate herders from armed criminals. The MACBAN president is positioning MACBAN to engage constructively with the government's livestock reform agenda while, you know, condemning the violence that has claimed thousands of lives on all sides of the farmer-herder conflict. You wanted to talk about one of the comments that he made in that interview.
What a very funny illustration.
Yes.
We're talking about livestock business.
Yes.
You're comparing it to airlines. Does the president of MACBAN also know that airlines pay for parking space in the airport? They pay to use the airports? Do they land on the expressway? Does he see plane land on coastal road, except maybe for that plane that was almost crashing on the highway?
On a car.
Yeah, on a car.
Yes.
You know, as a safety precaution measure. So does he see airlines landing indiscriminately? So you can see the very funny argument they make. Yeah. And please, with President Tinubu, what he said, these grazing reserves, it doesn't sit well with me.
Okay.
That is Ruga. Increasingly, we are going back to the days of the conversation of Ruga. You are saying set aside a grazing reserve for people's land that they already own. So who's going to pay for that land? Anybody that wants to do cattle business should buy land and ranch. When this conversation on Ruga was on, King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal showed us a video of how he was taking care of his cow and cattle. If you are interested in this business, but no indiscriminate ranching, no grazing reserves. By the way, despite, you see, so this is my field. I mean, I have a degree in all of this matter. Taking cattle through these heinous conditions in the first place reduces meat quality, reduces the the productivity or the quality of meat, reduces marbling. See, Oji, there's a particular beef called Wagyu, one of the most pristine beef in the world. Wagyu can set you back hundreds of dollars. No, you know, you have Japanese Wagyu and all of that. Can set you back hundreds of dollars. Do you know, if you see where they pamper Wagyu, they will even give Wagyu alcohol. They will give him in a secluded area, cool the temperature of the Wagyu, pet the Wagyu.
What kind of alcohol? Wine, red wine?
No. It's fermented. What's it called?
Yeah.
Fermented to be able to help because Wagyu is said to have very good marbling, very good meat layouts, so that when they cut a sirloin steak or a Wagyu steak and they sell it, a pound can set you back hundreds of dollars.
But so this is what we should be advocating.
So this is what we should be advocating, because all of this that they are doing even destroys meat quality.
Kwashoko.
You're having kwashoko cows.
Yes.
And
that's what we eat.
It's not even efficient, because go and check the chart of beef productivity. I'm not sure Nigeria ranks first 5 in the world.
Okay.
So if you want to do it, please, you need to invest in it. Investing in it is getting a place you can pay for, you can lease, where veterinary doctors come to see them. I mean, when we were in UNAP then, we imported some, some Kalahari goats that were not from this region. Do you know we had to build a shed for them and we have to put on fan for them to be cooling them?
All right.
In UNAP, when we imported Kalahari goats. So these are the things they should do. And for President Tinubu, it just shows that he has also gone to violate his own decree or statement that he put down. Because you see, that provides so that go and call the IG. I can assure you for free, almost everybody will call the IG and they will prove that there's a need for police officers. So like Dr. Abati said, the question we should ask is, how come we became a country where everybody needs private guards?
Because of the insecurity.
It's a failure of the security architecture.
Because of the insecurity.
So if we can't fix that, almost everybody needs private. Maybe we go to civilized countries. How many the same Nigerians that use police escort here, they enter buses in London. I have met many Nigerian governors in trains in London.
On the other hand, we see senior government officials in London.
They go abroad. They don't use
bikes.
They don't use police protection.
Taking walks they don't need.
Seyi Makinde the other day was running he ran a marathon somewhere in Belgium. He ran a marathon.
All right. Still on that.
Did he get any police protection? Hey.
U.S. Representative Riley Moore, who is in Nigeria on a fact-finding mission, has shared harrowing accounts from Christian internally displaced persons in Benue State following his visit to IDP camps in the north-central state. Congressman Moore, in a post on X, documented testimonies of extreme violence that has displaced over 600,000 Christians in Benue State alone. He stated that he met dozens of Christians who were driven from their homes and that they told harrowing stories that would remain with him for the rest of his life. And I'll read Riley Moore's post on X in part. He wrote, "One woman was forced to watch as they killed her husband and 5 children. She and her unborn child barely escaped. Another woman's family was murdered in front of her and her baby was ripped from her womb. One man's family was hacked to death in front of his eyes and his arm was permanently mangled. There are more than 600,000 Christians in IDP camps in Benue State alone. These Christians should be able to live in their ancestral homeland without fear of genocidal Fulani." Well, Riley Moore's visit to Benue IDP camps brings renewed international attention to the humanitarian crisis in the state, the characterization of the violence as genocidal, and the emphasis on religious targeting may very well increase pressure on the U.S. government to make a stronger stance on Nigeria's security challenges, particularly regarding religious freedom concerns. And of course, the U.S. House of Appropriation responded to Riley Moore's post on X, and they wrote, "America will not look away as innocent lives are stolen," directed by the President of the United States. Appropriators led an on-the-ground mission to inform a report on Christian persecution in Nigeria and guide policy recommendation. Religious freedom and atrocity response are central to our NSRP bill. And I'll take a reaction from a Nigerian user on X. He wrote, "I have to say, I'm genuinely surprised at the amount of effort the U.S. is putting into these congressional hearings. A big delegation in Nigeria going around the country and talking to actual people. Nigerian leaders don't even care that much about this stuff. Very weird and interesting." Meanwhile, last week, former Niger Delta militant leader Asari Dokubo berated Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, the chairman of the Church of Christ in Nations in Plateau State, who has been outspoken about the severity of the Christian genocide in Nigeria. Well, in the video that made the rounds on social media, Asari Dokubo warned Dachomo to stop spewing the genocide narrative in Nigeria, describing Dachomo as a fake pastor and a pathetic, pathological liar. Let's take a look.
Dachomo, if I place cost on you, you will not last 24 hours. Wallahi billahi bi-iznillah, you will not last 24 hours because you are a fake and you are a liar. There's hardly any crisis in the North that is rooted in religion. So the Hausa people, farmers that are being killed in Sokoto and in Kebbi by the so-called bandits or whatever they are called, why are they killing them?
All right. Asari Dokubo has spoken again. The last time he spoke, he said he was going to challenge the U.S. President Donald Trump if he were to bring boots on ground in Nigeria. Now he's here saying that there's no Christian genocide in Nigeria. I'll take this reaction before I come to you, Ayo. Meanwhile, terrorists holding the wife and daughter of murdered Anglican priest, Venerable Edwin Achi, has released disturbing photographs showing a machine gun pointed at the captives. The images were shared on the late priest's hijacked Facebook account. Venerable Achi was kidnapped alongside his wife, Sarah, and their daughter from their Kaduna residence on October 28th. Despite the family raising ransom funds, the priest was killed after nearly a month in captivity. The abductors have now hijacked his Facebook account to post new photos of his wife and daughter with weapons pointing at them. The Anglican Church has made repeated appeals for the immediate release of Sarah and her daughter. This case highlights escalating boldness of criminal gangs who now use social media to taunt families, even hijacking victims' accounts to share distressing images while continuing to hold them captive. This is the new trend we are seeing right now on social media, Ayo. We saw the story of Venerable Achi who died. We mourned him right here on the table. And now these terrorists have released this footage.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if I should blame the terrorists for their brazenness. When we have reports of rescue operations without any single arrest, then you can understand why we can see them become bolder, and even the things that they did not have or dare do would come on board and do this. And it's quite sad to see the effects of banditry, terrorism on lives and families. Since October 28th, this family have been in captivity. We talked about their father and husband being killed and how unfortunately terrible that was. But again, this is perhaps a wake-up call again and again to appropriate authorities to act on this. We don't want, yes, we love the rescues, we are grateful that rescues are happening, but beyond that, these perpetrators must be caught and brought to book. If not, they will continue to not just act in their in this manner, but also be very bold about it and almost a slap on the face of the government by these kind of videos that they do. The other part of it is also access to social media. We often talk about how everybody now has access to social media, they can talk, and that's why I don't blame Asari Dokubo as well. He has a device, he can come out and make statements that are not founded on truth or fact and just sit down and say things. I don't think we should pay much attention to him because he does not have any bona fide to speak on this matter. He's not from the area. He hasn't spoken to any people from the area. I wonder what his response to Congressman Riley would be, because you can bully the people in your country. And I think it's quite sad because I've said it again and again, that the Nigerian people, the Nigerian National Assembly, whether it's the House of Representatives or the Senate, ought to be taking the lead on this.
Correct.
They should be the ones going on fact-finding mission and going to the IDP camps, giving us. But I'm grateful that we had Honorable Ugo just a few minutes ago on the show, and at least someone from that region, Benue State, and he was speaking and he affirmed the fact that his people are being killed. These are the people that are being affected, and I've said it again. You cannot sit back in another region without any demonstrated efforts to speak to those who are affected and say, no, it's not happening, and turn a blind eye to it. We have said enough with the blame. We understand the issues. We've identified the issues. Can we now act on it?
Right.
The most important thing that can come out of this that has happened in the last few months is to see justice for the people who have continuously, without any support or help or response from previous administrations and governments, been killed and been forced away from their ancestral homes. Right. That's what we want to see. We want to see seriousness with regards to fighting against terrorism and bandits and those who are deliberately killing a particular group of people in Benue State, in Plateau State. That's the call we're making for today. Right. And to even say that, according to Riley Moore, 600,000 people IDP camp. Christians, sorry. According to Honorable Ugo, there are more. There are up to, according to the government, it's about 1 million. And these people have been left unheard, unattended to for so long, and it took an American fact-finding mission to tell us what is obvious to us, what the Nigerian government understands is a problem. That, for me, is one of the biggest problems. We must act, and we must see a solution to this problem once and for all.
Well
That's
said,
what we want.
I like the fact that you were able to tie in the fact that people have to be on ground before they make comments like, Asari Dokubo did. Well, all right. Now to politics. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has composed a praise song dedicated to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just one day after officially defecting from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. The governor unveiled the song on Wednesday while inaugurating a road project directing a praise singer with the lyrics, "If you dey support Tinubu, no follow corner, corner." Let's take a look.
If Fubara they tell you something, now this is the second answer. If you they support Tinubu, no follow corner, corner. If they hear what they talk, we they support Tinubu, we know they follow corner, corner. That is the second answer. I'm going to take that one.
Everybody sing now, sing Fubara, tell me something. Sing Fubara, tell me something. If you support Tinubu, make you go follow corner, corner. Sing Fubara, tell me something.
Thank you.
Dr. Abati, no follow corner if you follow anybody. I mean, this man, the governor, is clearly following in his godfather's footstep with this song. Now, this swift political realignment signals the complete collapse of PDP dominance in River State. Well, meanwhile, the PDP has described Fubara's defection as a self-inflicted injury, stating that Fubara voluntarily walked into the trap that led to his exit. They say that they pity him. Dr. Abati.
Well, Governor Fubara must be one of those celebrity singers that Senator Abdul Ningi was talking about. But I'm surprised. He should have added some dance steps to it, But it looks like a coded message. Yes. Who is the person who is following Konakona? And says he's supporting Tinubu.
We know
maybe he has Minister Wike in mind, because Minister Wike is claiming loyalty to President Tinubu, but at the same time he's fighting a battle in the PDP. Maybe the governor is sending a coded message, say, don't follow Konakona, come and join us in the APC.
Who's your full chest?
But when all that is resolved, there will still be a leadership tussle, I imagine.
Yes.
Between the son and the godfather, as to who will provide the leadership for the APC in that state.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we also must expect a lot to happen. Would Governor Fubara be allowed to get a second term?
Yeah.
So it's not over until it is over, but at least he has bought some peace for himself.
Right.
So clearly he's saying he's not following Konakona.
He's not following Konakona. But, Wike has been expelled from the PDP at this moment. I mean, you also said that it was, you think it's Wike that he was throwing a jab at. Do you think so?
Obviously, I think it's Wike that was throwing a jab at, because from what I gather, some people that were interviewed, lawmakers in River State, did say that their own defection was different from Fubara's own arrangements. So probably Fubara has done this to undercut Wike. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So, but let me talk about something way more important than all this.
About
jokers.
the venerable that died. Venerable Archie, correct.
So this is close to me because, and I was in England when the story broke, and I didn't know until I discovered that Venerable Archie is actually uncle to Azubike Osumele.
Oh, Azubike.
Yes. He's Ukwani.
Inspiration FM general manager and journalist and colleague of mine that I worked with.
So rest in peace.
And I had spoken to the family members, Edgar, where they said that it was after they paid the ransom they released the Venerable Archie's body. And I'm seeing
600 million, I believe.
No, they didn't pay
How
the
much
600 million. They didn't even pay, up to that. They were talking, they paid some money. And I'm seeing this pattern because they have first released a picture of a gun pointed at Venerable Archie, and we saw the body. And I'm seeing this pattern again. And I've been able to check. You can actually, from the pictures posted on Facebook, you can actually get a metadata if you talk to Meta about it and pinpoint the location where they are. We like to beg the government.
Yes.
If anything happens to Venerable Archie's wife, it's sad enough that something happened to him. The blood will be on this government and this administration.
Well, all right.
I think the least we can do is to at least let the woman come out and mourn the death of her husband. And for all of those that say there's no Christian genocide, when I spoke to Edgar, what Edgar told me was Venerable Archie was kidnapped with his wife from his home because he was a Christian and he was a venerable in the Anglican Church.
All right. Well, may his soul continue to rest in peace. We pray that his wife and daughter be released. Well, before we take our milestone story, let's highlight this shocking footage showing security personnel at the airport in Ilorin arresting a man who attempted to hide beneath an aircraft preparing for takeoff. The suspect, identified as Shegun Martins, was apprehended on Wednesday afternoon after he breached airside security and made his way to the foot of an Overland Airways aircraft that was preparing to taxi for departure. Well, according to the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, Martins attempted to conceal himself between the aircraft tires before ground security personnel spotted and apprehended him. We're seeing this kind of story again. NCAA spokesperson Michael Achimogu stated that Martins was immediately handed over to the airport police for further investigation, and during preliminary interrogation, Martins reportedly told investigators that he believed the aircraft was headed for the United States and he intended to escape Nigeria by hiding in the plane's undercarriage. Okay, I don't know why.
The funny side of this
so
story
he wanted
is that
to be a
I think perhaps the greatest punishment for him would have been to allow him get to his destination, come out and say that all this problem.
He will die.
I'm just saying that. I'll not come to that. But I'm just saying that. Imagine the shock. I mean, from a comical perspective, after you feel like you're going to the land of the free and you're making to be cold, you come out and it's the same heat and sun. And it's like, what's going on? But on a serious note, I think it's a suicide mission for anyone who's considering this, whether locally or internationally. And we've seen desperations amongst people who just want to leave a particular location, whether those who are going on stowaway boats, crossing the Channel to the United Kingdom through France, or also in Nigeria here, where people just want to go out for the prospect of a better life. And again, you know, on the bigger picture, is just speaking to the condition of the lives of people here. Yes. I will maintain that Nigerians love Nigeria. They would prefer to stay back home if conditions were better. But please don't try it. It is a suicide mission. It is signing your death. And it's better to be alive and hopeful than dead and gone.
Dr. Vati, a quick comment before I go to the
porous security arrangements at our airports.
This is one of the issues.
How did the gentleman, how did they pass security and go to the aircraft? I mean, he could have done some damage, you know, if he was a criminal, not somebody who is trying to stow away. So security is very important at our various airports.
Yes, well...
Cows were once seen on the runway in our airports in this country. How much more?
We've seen cows, we've seen antelopes. I mean, it needs to be more secure.
The other day at another airport, somebody went and stole bags from an aircraft on the tarmac.
Well, these NCA officials are really having a field day at this point. Well, all right. Now, under milestones, history was made in Ekiti State on Wednesday as Governor Biodun Oyebanji led dignitaries to receive the first commercial flight at the Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, marking a major milestone in the state's quest for economic growth and enhanced connectivity. Well, the inaugural United Nigeria Airlines flight touched down from Abuja at exactly 11 a.m., conveying prominent passengers, including all former governors of Ekiti State. Governor Oyebanji revealed that the state has invested 49.7 billion naira in the airport project since inception, with 14 billion naira spent by previous administrators and over 34 billion naira committed by his government in the last 3 years. The airport is strategically designed to support and export agro-produce, boost value chains, and reduce post-harvest losses for farmers. Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo described the development as a new era in Nigeria's aviation sector, while the airport received a traditional water cannon salute upon the flight's arrival.
Ekiti State is blessed with hardworking and brilliant people, fertile lands, and abundant rainfall. Yet, we have had to travel long distances, facing high costs and risks.
Well, all right, congratulations to Governor Oyebanji and the good people of Ekiti State for this historic achievement with nearly 50 billion in infrastructure investment. Ekiti is now firmly positioned as a key player in agro, logistics, and regional commerce, opening vast opportunities for farmers, investors, and businesses across the state. Congratulations. Dr. Bati, you were asking me which one is agro business. You want more?
I understand the thing about agro produce, but they should expand it because Ekiti people, every weekend there are parties. When my friends from Ekiti State invite me, I don't want to travel by road. Now, Owambe party in Ekiti. Well, let them expand the operation. We'll be able to go.
Absolutely. This is a historic milestone now. I'm sure that the airport will be open for more commercial flights, like Dr. Bati has requested. Congratulations to the governor of Ekiti State. Let's take our good news report now, celebrating a truly historic moment, as British-Nigerian artist Nnenna Kalu has become the first person with a learning disability to win the prestigious Turner Prize, one of the world's most coveted contemporary art awards. Now, the 59-year-old artist, born in Glasgow to Nigerian parents, was awarded the £25,000 prize on Tuesday at a ceremony in Bradford, England, for her stunning abstract sculptures and vivid circular drawings made entirely from recycled materials. Kalu creates her striking hanging sculptures by wrapping, coiling, and knotting repurposed fabrics, rope, tape, cling film, and even magnetic tape from VHS cassettes around tubular structures, forming brightly colored cocoon-like shapes. At the ceremony, the judging panel praised the powerful presence of her bold and compelling work.
What you want to do? And if you know the girl like the pooch. Odupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming, joy is coming. Dupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming. Only the morning.
Yay! Congratulations to Nnenna for this groundbreaking achievement. After 25 years of dedication and facing discrimination, she has shattered barriers and made history. I mean, Joyce. I mean, this is really the most beautiful news I've heard this week. Congratulations to her. There is ability in disability. On that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.